I'm headed to Dry Creek Valley, AVA, to go see Mike Rowan. Mike's a pure grower. Mike just grows grapes and sells them off to other wineries, and that's a real change of pace for me, which is kind of cool, because I mostly talk to winemakers. And so it's neat to go talk to a guy whose pure purpose is just producing grapes.
Sonoma's chock-a-block with a lot of small farms, isn't it?
Pretty much the heritage.
Yeah.
When I first moved here, it was in 1958, and we lived on Chalk Hill Road, and we had, it was a bigger piece of ground, but a lot of it was sheep pasture.
Right.
And we had about 12 acres of prunes, which are the money crop in Sonoma County then, and 8 or 10 acres of grapes that we dry farmed. They were Zinfandel primarily, but we had Sauvignon Vert, which is a variety nobody knows about.
Right.
Some French Colombard,
Right.
and we sold those grapes as either whites or blacks to the cooperative winery in Windsor. I mean, it was a very different climate.
So it's just they were the white grapes or red grapes, black grapes, whatever, and that was no differentiation of variety or.
They went into giant concrete fermenters.
Wow.
By that, either white or red, and that's how you were paid. And usually there was a $10 differential, reds getting just a little bit more than whites. that was passed for a varietal.
Right. Do you have specific favorite memories of being in this vineyard?
Yeah, before it was much of a vineyard, when we bought this place in 1978, and we had 3 kids who were fairly young, and we were living in St. Helena, and we'd drive over here in the winter to prune it. And we had borer beetles, and it was old Zinfandel vines in there. And so when we pruned them, we had to take all the prunings out and burn them, because that's the only way you can get rid of the beetles. They're in the cane. And so our kids, the poor slaves, had to pack the prunings. And we built this big fire.
Right.
At noontime, though, we would have these wire baskets, and we would grill Italian sausages. And we still have pictures of that. My kids talk about that. For them, it was like, yeah, this is home.
The U.S. really has become a wine-drinking country,
Yes.
and you've seen that happen in
Absolutely.
your career.
Yeah, but I hate to say this, but yeah, I've been alive long enough to see the change. I remember when I was in college, a lot of the comments, wine was kind of a suspect thing, it was kind of a papist thing, and beer was the manly beverage, and gosh, I don't think you hear that anymore.
Yeah.
There are wineries in every state,
state.
and doing well. And I think that embraces something that goes way beyond just the aspect of it being, a beverage or commercial beverage. It's something that's part of people's food culture. Part of what has kept Sonoma County in vineyards is the fact that it's a crop where quality can be recognized and rewarded. Other agricultural crops, you don't get it. I talked about prunes. We grew wonderful prunes here. They're just the same in the Sacramento Valley.
Right.
But geographically, we have this gift.
What is the sustainability plan?
Well, the Sonoma County Wine Grape Commission has challenged themselves to have 100% participation in, not just in sustainability, but in being certified sustainable within a 5-year period. We became more conscious of controlling soil erosion, of using lighter chemicals, not using such a heavy hand at it. Don't cultivate as much. Use water more sparingly where you have it, where instead of using overhead sprinklers, almost everything in the vineyards now are done through drip irrigation.
Right.
And so there's lots of benefits for us that weren't apparent 20 years ago. And we just keep adding these things because someone will bring it to our attention, and you look at it and you go, oh, that makes sense. And with the idea in mind that, we've been in this place since 78, and we'd like to have it for our family, then it's our job to protect it. There's a sense of stewardship that's shared in the farming community here. We think that this is a goal that can be and should be met, because this is the way that we can tell the world, this is what we do. This is our heritage. And I would really like it to be my kids' heritage, that we did it.
It's really cool to talk to a guy like Mike who's passionate about sustainability, about sort of responsible agriculture. And at the same time, he's not, part of the younger generation. He's a guy who's been farming for 30 odd years. And that's kind of fascinating.